here yesterday, wasn't it? Sure is. You love this about me, right? That we're constantly going to and from different places? Yeah. We were here yesterday and we're back again to get a little, excuse me, to get a pot that I left behind and can't live without. Poor glasses are all fogged up. You poor little thing. You're coming with me. Wait, water barrel setups or... Hey y'all, welcome back to the vlog. Happy Sunday. I'm just starting my fourth vlog, I feel like it is. Yes, fourth vlog. I can't believe we're already at the fourth one, or third one. I'm pretty sure it's the fourth. I'm confident it's the fourth. The only reason I don't know that is because at this point I've only edited and posted one vlog and I'm just stockpiling footage for a reason I don't know. I mentioned in one of the first few days that I was filming that I think that editing is going to be the bottleneck for me, and I'm so far proving myself right on that theory. But I hope to get some editing time in this evening and then tomorrow evening as well. But, you know, until that's done, I am just going to keep filming stuff because I'm doing things that I would like to show you and I don't want you to miss out on that stuff. I am just chilling. It is Sunday. I just finished the last vlog this morning. It is now 2:30. It's now 2:30, so I am just going to get ahead and get started with my planty chores that I have created for myself. I went to the plant store yesterday, got some stuff, and then I mentioned at the end of the last vlog that I left a pot behind that I could not leave behind, a pretty pink pot, so I had to go back and get it, and then I got a couple more plants because, well, actually I only got one. I only got one more plant to put in that pot, so things need to be repotted. I want to just switch out the soil that they're in for my mix of soil that I mixed yesterday before it started to rain, and then after that I need to replant some orchids too. I have these, like, they're right in front of me here. I have these really rare, I don't know if they're that rare, but they're rare to me. These cute orchids that need to be repotted, and the only reason, I mean, the substrate that they're in looks really good. I can see charcoal in there, orchid bark, kind of like good stuff, but the reason I want to repot them is because I like my orchids. I say this like I've been keeping orchids forever. It's not been forever. It's only been a couple months that I've been keeping them. I like to keep them in clear pots so I can see those delicious roots, and right now they're in dark green pots, so I just want to repot them, get them set up for my space, and then, like I said, repot the other plants that I got between yesterday and today. It is rainy, overcast, dreary weather, so we can't do it outside, so we're just going to be down in the kitchen. I'm going to set up a little replanting shop, and once I start doing this, Emily will like peek from around the corner and be like, hey, can you take care of my plants too? So I'm probably going to end up doing her plants as well. Once that is all done, you know, like I said, it's 2:30. I don't have much on the agenda today besides relaxing, which is so nice because I feel like we've been kind of going the last few days, with all fun stuff, rest assured, but still somewhat nonstop. I'm excited to just lounge around. I want to read my book. I am reading The Starving Saints still, and that book so far is like very atmospheric. I'm only 30 to 40 pages in, but very atmospheric, moody, gothic vibes, so I think this like rainy, dreary weather will be perfect for that. I want to repaint my nails tonight because these suckers are still looking terrible. So I can't do anything about the length of them or lack thereof length, but I can paint them a cute color. So I'm gonna take advantage and do what I can and you know, paint them something so it looks a little better. Oh, I also wanted to show you, I finished my can't believe I almost forgot this. I finished my quilty placemat. I'd like just finished, oh, it matches my shirt, that's cute. I like just finished this maybe 30 minutes ago after we got back from the store. we just sat down for like an hour and I quilted the rest of it and I did the binding. So I love how that looks. Let me set it up for you. All right, so I turned on an additional light for you so that you could see it a little better. It is just so dark in here because of the gloomy weather, but yeah, just a nice little placemat to throw some tarot cards on. I love the colors. I love this quilt block design. Some of my stitches from the back. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then some stitches from the front. I love looking at quilting stitches, so that's why I'm showing you these kind of close up. But yeah, I think this will be a nice practical quilt for me to use, and I can't wait to throw cards on it. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say for now for this little check-in. Now that that quilted mat is done, I'm going to start on my next art quilt, and I already know the base fabric that I want to use for that, so I might go ahead and cut that down and serge the edges today, just so it's ready so I can pick out fabric tomorrow and not waste any more time putting that off, because I haven't started it. And I said I was going to start it last week, and I still have not done that. But anyway, I think that's all I have to say for now. Let's go ahead downstairs and get this little plant repotting station set up. I'm going to be figuring it out along with you, so let's see what I come up with.
Last rodeo written on my back window. I've never tried this before I met you. Here we go into the wideness unknown. You seem to shift what I thought that I knew. Kaleidoscope, both of us changing our pattern with every spin. Oh, kaleidoscope, glass bits and pieces from planets that I've never been. I am fixated on every new shape you're making. Ring. Here I am aiming to please. Comets and asteroid blues cross between us. Fall, summer, spring, steady and bleak wintering. You are a lantern to me in the stardust. Kaleidoscope, both of us changing our pattern with every spin. Oh, kaleidoscope, glass bits and pieces from play.
I just want to say I hope you can hear me. It is raining cats and dogs outside. I am like so surprised we haven't lost power yet. Knock on wood. But here's what I repotted, plus the 2 orchids, but they are currently being watered. I'm giving them a drink so they're not in dry orchid bark. But we do have the skeleton key, the little spotted begonia, and the variegated Hoya compacta. I really love everybody how they look. I especially love this pot and plant combo so much. It's like giving 70s vibes. I am so excited about it, but I'm just going to finish repotting all of Emily's plants, and then I'm going to take a little break and clean these dogs up so we can paint some nails and relax and probably watch TV. So yeah, I hope you love my plants as much as I do. Can't wait to see how they do. Back now. Before I do nails, I think nails are going to be like an evening wind down activity. I'm going to cut this fabric for my next quilt, just to say I got it started, and then we'll pick out fabrics for it tomorrow. This is going to be the background fabric. I hope it picks up on camera like it does in person. It's kind of a gray, purple, lilac color. It's a very muted lilac with a lot of gray in it. And this is London Fog. That's the name of the color. It's washed linen, and this is from Blackbird Fabrics. I know I said I buy most everything for my quilts is secondhand or gifted or repurposed. 85% of it is recycled, but there is something about having a special dedicated background fabric to sew on that's really special. So I do save these special fabrics for this reason. This is going to be a 2-part series of quilts, so the next part will also have a different color but same kind of washed linen fabric from Blackbird. Just that continuity in the 2 pieces to link them together where they're the same but different. So yeah, this is going to be the background. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this downstairs. This quilt is gonna be 3 by 3 feet. So I'll give a little bit of extra wiggle room for the serged edges, but once we get done cutting it, we will serge it, and I will show you how I do that, because the process of serging is quite relaxing. It's quick and it makes some nice ASMR. So I think that'll be fun. Okay, y'all, we are at the serger. I hope you can see me. This light is probably so blown out, but it's really bright. This is my serger. You've probably seen her in the background on things. Her name is Juki. She's a Juki. And she is a little dusty because I don't use her too often, just for like serging edges most of the time. Because I don't make clothes, I'm really only serging edges when I start a new quilting project. She is a MO-654DEN for all those wondering. I have had literally no issues with her. She's threaded and she's threaded properly. She's good to go. So for someone who doesn't know a ton about sergers, I have had really good luck with her, and I'd recommend her if you are in the market for one and don't really know what it is you're looking for. I feel like this is a great one if you're a beginner, but also if you're like, doing this all the time, if you're more intermediate, professional, whatever. I really have no complaints, but I'm just gonna do a little test run since I haven't run her in a minute here. So let's see, let's just make sure we're all good. Alright, we look great. Everything looks good, as it should. Let me go ahead and get myself set back up again, and then we will go ahead and serge these edges on this piece of fabric. Alright, so there is a finished edge on one side of this, so we're just gonna ignore that and go for everybody else. I'm gonna be quiet during this part. I hope you just enjoy this ASMR, the sound of the sewing machine. I think it's pretty relaxing, but you'll have to let me know what you think. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. as you can see, if it'll focus, there we go. And as you can see, we have these nice finished edges now. So this is all ready to start making art on. And I just want to say too, I said it was going to be 3 feet by 3 feet, but if I'm being honest, it's a rough chop. It probably won't be exact. Sorry, I got smiskies everywhere here. It probably won't be exact, it'll just be approximate, but I think that's totally fine for the type of quilt that I'm making, which again, this, like my last one, this will be a wall quilt and not a snuggling quilt. Perfection is not the name of the game here. All right, I'm sorry if I look a little funny. I have my grow light on. Oh my god, I just looked right into it. Shoot. Now that I'm seeing floaters everywhere, I am going to go ahead and make dinner, have dinner. I'm not making dinner, let's be real. Have dinner, and then I will probably chill on the couch for the rest of the evening and paint my nails, have a fun little snack and drink. You know how it goes. So yeah, I feel pretty good about what we all did today. So thanks for being here for it. Good morning vlog. Happy Monday. It is just after 8 a.m. here and I am just outside checking on my plants because we got absolutely obliterated yesterday. When I was repotting those plants inside, I mentioned that we were getting some insane rain, and yeah, it was crazy. It was a lot of storms last night and yesterday. Down maybe like an hour away from us, or an area like an hour away from us, got some insane flooding in North Carolina, so definitely thinking about them this morning, but it seems like my plants did okay here. I say that, but everybody looks really sad right now. So again, I just wanted to check in this morning since I left you off with me just painting my nails last night. Really hope you can hear me above the cicadas because they are as happy as can be right now, and it is so humid. I'm not going to stay out here for very long. But before I went inside, I just wanted to show you my plant box that we planted last week because it is already thriving. It's doing so well. Look at those greens. Everyone looks so happy. They're in like a very protected part of the deck. They have like a little bit of an overhang over them so they don't get absolutely pummeled by the weather, which, you know, honestly is like good for them because they would not be able to handle this rainstorm that we had yesterday. Today I am just going to be working, and then I wanted to pick out some fabrics for my next quilt that we cut and prepped yesterday, so I plan on doing that, and I will take you along for that as well. I'll do that during my break this afternoon. I'll just kind of like give you an eye into the process of how I pick fabrics for a project and what have you. I just had a cardinal fly like directly above me. That was pretty cool. I don't think it caught it on camera, but not much else to say. I am working on my second cup of tea, and then before I start working, I think I'm going to read for a little bit longer as long as I can, bathe the tortoise, and feed the tortoise. So that's all that's going to be happening this morning. Yeah, I will talk to you soon, and we will pick out some fabrics together. Thanks. Bye. Oh my god, Logic. Oh, buddy. Oh, I love you so much. I love you so much, Logic.
You're just a sweet little guy with big feelings, right? Oh, yes. Tell it. Oh.
Good evening, vlog. I am back. It is still Monday. I am still wearing the same shirt that I was this morning. No more wardrobe changes. I'm feeling great. I just finished work for the day, so I thought it would be a great time to pick out fabrics for my next quilt. And if you remember yesterday, oh my gosh, I have like the neediest cat right now. You'll have to excuse him. It is his like witching hour. I swear, like as soon as it hits like 5:30, 6 o'clock, or whenever I get home in the evening, it is like go time for him. He is ready to snuggle. No ifs, ands, or what's about it. Popped up on my lap. You can probably hear him purring. This is my boy. I love him so much. Ooh. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm gonna try and just talk here. Logic. I love you so much. Oh my god. This cat is obsessed with me. Can you tell we've been best friends for like 10 years? I love you too. I love you so much. Yeah, I love you more than words. As I was saying, if you remember yesterday, we cut my base fabric out and serged the edges so they're all finished and they won't fray while we sew on top of our quilt top. And now is the really fun process of beginning to pick out the fabrics that I'm going to use on top of the quilt top. And this is kind of where the magic starts for me. I do have a note in my notes app that I've been writing ideas down for this quilt. So I have like an idea of like images and subject matter and different features I want to include on the quilt top, but I have not picked any fabrics out yet. So I do have the base fabric in mind, of course, but everything from here on out is free game, and I thought it would be fun just to show you what I pick out to start with this. These fabrics probably will change from now until the end of the quilt, but I think it's fun to see what my first impressions are when starting a new art project or a new piece, and what like my main objective going into it will be and how that will change and transform throughout the process of making the quilt. So it's a very magical, involved, spiritual process of quilt making. I feel like a lot of other quilters will say similar things. I did not know that quilting was such a spiritual and emotional process of creating from start to finish, and it's probably my favorite thing about it. It just applies so much meaning to me, and I think the people who view it can also see that meaning and that significance too. I'm going to turn you around here and let you watch me pick out fabric, and then I'll show you what I end up with at the end. I don't want to scare you, but my rainbow fabric wall has not been organized since that very first vlog where it was just a mess. It's only gotten worse since then. So I think one of these days I will reorganize it and film it so you can kind of see, but it doesn't ever stay organized because I'm like throwing stuff over my shoulders as I'm making quilts, if you could imagine that. So it's just part of the process as well as sorting through the chaos that is my fabric wall. But it's fine, it works for me, and it doesn't have to work for anyone else but me because it's mine, so it's gonna be just fine, but I want to give you a precursor before I flip you around to see that. And after that, I will show you everything that's kind of spread out on the floor, and then we will begin the process of actually designing our quilt top. Okay everyone, I am back. The daylight is quickly fading, so the colors might not be that great here, but this is the color story we're working with for this quilt. Like I said, these are my first impressions, so I definitely think some things will probably be switched out and placed back in. Overall, the theme or the underbelly of this quilt is going to be kind of like melancholy, darker themes. So I want some more like darker colors in there, so I definitely will probably pull some more to go with as we go along. But I'm thinking a lot about neutrals, dark tones, moody colors, and then also these pops of red here, and then this yellow chartreuse neon color. Might seem like a curveball, but I incorporate this color into like every quilt, so she has to be there. But yeah, this is how it all begins. It just is a bunch of scraps of fabric on top of a quilt top that is ready to be made. Okay, y'all, like I said, I am quickly losing daylight in here, so I will keep this brief, but the next phase of my quilt creation process, my quilting teacher that I've worked with wouldn't necessarily advise or recommend, but I like to do this because it's just easier for my brain to have something to start with. I will take my iPad and I will do a little mock-up of what I think, emphasis on think, the quilt is going to turn out like. And this is just a really rough sketch. Some ideas that I have written down I want to incorporate, so I'm going to like throw them on a canvas on Procreate in my iPad and just see where it goes. And I will do that tomorrow, and I will show you that process too, what we end up with and how we move forward from there. Again, this is the first step. I've never shown this side of my art making before, so it feels a little vulnerable, but also it feels right. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this little window into my process, and I will check back in tomorrow morning probably when we start the mock-up or sketch of what our quilt will be. Good morning, everyone. It is a nice ripe 6:15, I think, in the morning. 6:19 in the morning, and I am just doing my morning routine that I mentioned in one of the last vlogs, where I really take this time from 6 to 7 to have my personal introvert time and my creative time. And yesterday we picked out the fabrics that I'm going to be using for my quilt top for this next quilt. And then in that segment I mentioned that I like to do a little sketch of what I imagine this quilt will look like. And the reason I do this is because I really do better with some kind of visual idea going in. I can't just start with a blank slate and like improv the whole thing. I know some people do that and some people do it beautifully, but with these art quilts I like to have a couple main focal elements that I know what they're gonna look like, or I know what's gonna go there, and then I'll build around it. For example, I will show you what my quilt that I just finished, what my sketch looked like. And just to remind you what that looks like, I'll put an image of it here, but this was my sketch for it. That is it. I have the Saturn drawn, the beehive drawn, and the 2 geese drawn. Those are the main focal elements that I wanted, and I knew where I wanted them there, and then I just built everything else around it. So this sketch is very bare bones. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it is a helpful tool for me when making a quilt. It just helps my brain process it. So I'm going to set you up with a different angle so you can watch me draw. Yeah, let me set you up. Alright, so this is what I ended up with. I hope you can see it okay, but just very basic sketch. And these are some of the starting elements, and it just gives me a base to work from. And nothing is hard and fast. Like I said, I can change the rules if I want to. If I want to move something around, it is there, but these are just the ideas that I'm thinking of now. So yeah, that's a little insight into my process. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me for this part. I think I'll probably start the first bits of sewing in the next few days here. Probably not tonight, probably not tomorrow, maybe Thursday. And if you're interested in seeing bits and pieces of how I do this, besides just updates, I would love to share if that's something that you would like to see. This one in particular will probably be pretty cathartic for me. I have put this one off for a long time, but it just feels like a necessary part of my journey as an artist to make a piece about this subject matter and like this. So yeah, I'll be working through those emotions while I make this quilt too, which is another part of the process. Thanks for joining me for this. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for now, and I will touch base back with you in the next one. Thanks. Bye. Hey, hi vlog. Seemed like it to you, but it has been several days since I filmed and picked up the camera, and I'm trying to remember when I last filmed. I think it was Monday. Was it Monday? I don't even remember the last thing I filmed. I think it was when I was showing you Eunice's breakfast. But no, because I filmed on Tuesday too. Tuesday morning I filmed, right? It's been a crazy week, as you can tell. I've been really busy in my personal life and with work things, all really good stuff, but just have not been having the energy to pick up the camera and film. But I wanted to check in with you here and do a Aardvark book unboxing because I got my Aardvark Book Club box on Monday, but I have not opened it yet. I have not opened it at all. I haven't read anything, and I honestly just have not had the time to do it. So today is the day. We're gonna check in and go over the books that I got and picked out because I honestly don't remember much about them, which will be a nice surprise for us again. But before we go ahead and open that book club box, I wanted to give you an update on The Starving Saints, as I am reading this, and this was in our first Aardvark book box last month. So I wanted to give you a reading update and let you know my thoughts on this, because I love talking about books and I love reading books, but I don't have a lot of people in my immediate circle that enjoy the strange and unusual books that I really enjoy, and so I don't really talk about them very much with people around me. If I can just yap to the camera about the books I'm reading and what I'm thinking about them, it's like a dream come true for me. So I'd love to go ahead and get started with The Starving Saints, and then we'll move on to the books I got for this past month. Okay, so starting with The Starving Saints, I haven't edited this vlog yet, so I'm not sure if I include this footage or not, but I absolutely butchered the names of the summary when I was reading this to you, so I don't know if I included it. But basically, synopsis is the story is about three main characters that we have here, and they are three women, and they are trapped within the walls of a castle that is starving from the inside out, basically, and they're surrounded by an enemy, so they're all stuck in this castle together, and they are essentially visited by a culty vibe kind of group that is under the umbrella of being godlike, holy-like, spiritual, all those kinds of fun things. So this book really intrigued me to start with, but I will say I'm enjoying it now. I'm probably about halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but getting started with this book was a struggle for me. I was really having a hard time with all the different characters we were being introduced to, because there's more characters than those three main ones. So we were getting introduced to all these characters in a new place with politics, and I haven't read a fantasy type book. I wouldn't call this fantasy, it's definitely more horror, but it has that fantasy element where you're like trying to get to know the background history of this world before you get involved in the story, but it's all happening simultaneously. Do you know what I mean? There's no reference in this book. There's not a map I can look at. There's not like a glossary of all the characters and their backgrounds like some books may have, or some fantasy books may have. So I did struggle to get into this, and I was feeling really bummed, and kind of like I was concerned that I'd have to DNF this because I just wasn't following along in the first few chapters at all. But I was dedicated. I'm really dedicated. And so I decided, you know, if I'm really going to give this a shot, I'm going to pull out my training wheels here. And I got the book on audio, and I got the book on my e-reader, just to really help me along. And I'm so glad that I did that, because once I added those elements to the reading experience, I became immersed in the story. Basically what I did is I was going to the gym, and I just popped my headphones in, I got my e-reader, I went on the treadmill and walked 3 miles while reading and listening to the story, and it changed the whole experience for me. So now I'm really into it. Our three main characters are a servant girl, a nun turned sorceress, which like right up my alley. And then we have a mask woman knight who really just gives me Brienne of Tarth vibes from Game of Thrones. And yeah, I love that. So all these characters are like really appealing to me in their own ways. The book is dealing with themes of hunger, and with that, if you can imagine hunger in a castle where you can't grow any food and you can't harvest any food from animals, you gotta like do some desperate things. So that is in this story. There's also elements of magic in this story, and there's also sapphic panic in this story. That I was not expecting, but I'm really enjoying. Like, there are moments in this book that they're not like intentionally sapphic, like they're not like overtly that way, but when you read them, I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, like that's kind of, that's kind of this, but I'm really enjoying it. So this is The Starving Saints. I have read some reviews. Like when I was really struggling with this, I did go on Goodreads and read some reviews, and people were talking about struggling with the last third or last half of it just being a drag. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen to me, because I have like half of it left and I have a lot of questions that I want answered, and so I imagine that would take some time to get through the questions that I have. And I do have about 150 pages, so I'm hoping that I don't have that experience. And every person reads a book differently, so planting the seed in my head that I'm afraid that this book is going to end up disappointing me is not good, and I'm trying not to do it. That is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. And as of right now, I would probably recommend it to you if these themes interest you or appeal to you. So yeah, that's The Starving Saints. Okay, next we have our Aardvark Book Club unboxing. So this is July's box, and as you can see, it's quite a bit thicker this month because I got only one book last month, but now I have gotten 3 because I didn't just get 3 to get 3. I got 3 because these titles really appealed to me and I wanted them all. So yeah, let's go ahead and open this up. Let's give her a little look-see, shall we? Woo. Okay, so here we go. We have the first one, which is Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna Van Vleen. And I just want to say that cover is like beautiful. I remember hearing chatter about this book, but I don't remember when. It was released in 2025, so I know it hasn't been on my radar for a super long time, but I'm wondering if I heard something about this book like a year prior to its release that interested me. Like I said, now I don't remember anything about these books that I got from Aardvark, so I'd like to go ahead and read the little summary intro piece on the inside cover for you, because I will relive the interest of this book that it had to me, and also might interest you as well. We have The Netherlands, 1887. Lucy's twin sister Sarah is unwell. She refuses to eat, mumbles nonsensically, and is increasingly obsessed with a centuries-old corpse recently discovered on her husband's grand estate. The doctor has diagnosed her with temporary insanity caused by a fever of the brain. To protect her twin from a terrible fate in a lunatic asylum, Lucy must unravel the mystery surrounding her sister's condition, but it's clear her twin is hiding something. Then again, Lucy is harboring secrets of her own too. Then the worst happens. Sarah's behavior takes a turn for the strange. She becomes angry and hungry. Lucy soon comes to suspect that something is trying to possess her beloved sister, or is it madness? As Sarah changes before her very eyes, Lucy must reckon with the dark, monstrous truth or risk losing her forever. So it seems like we may have another human eating human kind of book here, perhaps, or maybe I'm totally off the mark and it's like something entirely different. I will find out. But yeah, I can definitely see why this intrigued me. It's giving horror, it's giving family ties, and then also human eating human, which I guess is just a running theme for the books I've been reading recently. I'm really excited to read this and add this to my collection. I'm still in the horror mood. It is horror goth girl summer in my world, so I will probably read this summer and let you know when I read it and what I think about it when I do. And next we have House of Beth by Carrie Cullen. This one was actually an early release on Aardvark, and I didn't pick it just because it was an early release, but the themes of it really intrigued me. I remember that, but I don't remember what it's about. Based on the cover here, it's giving scary domestic, maybe? Horror, domestic horror? So let's see. It says, after a heart-wrenching breakup with her girlfriend and a shocking incident at her job, Cassie flees for her life as an overworked assistant in New York from her hometown in New Jersey along the Delaware River. There, she reconnects with her high school best friend, Eli, now a widowed father of 2. Their bond reignites, and within a few short months, Cassie is married to Eli, living in his house in the woods, homeschooling the kids, and getting to know their reserved neighbor, Joan. But Cassie's fresh start is less idyllic than she'd hoped. She grapples with harm OCD, her mind conjuring gory graphic images, and she's afraid that she'll never measure up to Eli's late spouse, who was a committed homemaker and traditional wife. No matter what Cassie does, Beth's shadow still permeates every corner of their home. Soon, Cassie starts hearing a voice narrating the house's secrets. As she listens, the voice grows stronger, guiding Cassie down a path to uncover the truth about Beth's untimely death. Haunting and seductive, Carrie Cullen's debut novel exposes every version of a person, both real and imagined. Now I really understand why I wanted to grab this one, because not only is it queer, but it also deals with OCD thoughts, which in one of my last vlogs I mentioned having OCD and how my thoughts or my reality is sometimes I can't distinguish what's real and what's in my head. And the last sentence of this intro echoed that perfectly. So I am really excited to read this. We have like haunted house, queer, mental health, domestic themes of this book, and it looks to be quite short in comparison to the 400 pages that I've been reading back to back. So maybe I will give this one a go next month, and I think that could be fun too for an early release, just to read it right away and kind of join the hype with everybody else that may be reading this once it hits shelves. So yeah, that's House of Beth by Carrie Cullen. And then the last book, I do remember why I was interested in this one. This is Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright, and this is a fantasy novel, and I have not read fantasy since those series of books that everybody was reading a couple of years ago came out and like took the world by storm. I read them too, and I read a lot of fantasy books after that. I think that was in 2023, but that was my fantasy overhaul, and I have not really read fantasy since. And not because of lack of interest for any reason, I just have found other weird lit fic books that have like sparked my interest more so. But once I read you the intro for this one, you will understand why I'm so into this and why I'm really excited to read this. As the daughter of a powerful but disgraced blood worker, Shan Leclerc has spent her entire life perfecting her blood magic. Now she takes her place at the head of the family. Her revenge will soon follow. Samuel Hutchinson is a B-word with a terrible gift, drawn into the world of dark magic and pulled deeply into the ravenous and bloodthirsty court of the Vampire King. Tasked by the Eternal Night to discover the identity of a killer cutting a bloody swath through the city, Sam, Shan, and a mysterious royal blood worker named Isaac find themselves caught in a complicated web of desire, treason, and vengeance, as they must decide if the good of their nation is worth the price of their souls. One thing you should know about me after reading that little intro is that I'm a vampire obsessed person. They are my favorite monster by far. I love reading vampire novels. Dracula is one of my favorite stories of all time. I love all the film adaptations. I love the story. I love that character. I love Twilight too. I was a huge fan of them in high school. I've read all the books. I have a giant New Moon poster over here in my studio, just on this back wall here. It is just a huge part of my life. I love vampires. I love the concept of it. So finding a vampire fantasy novel on Aardvark was really exciting to me, and I knew I had to pick it up. Not only just to indulge in my vampire love affair, but also to dip my toe back into reading fantasy again to see if that is something I would like to continue pursuing, or if it's just the vampires that really got me in. I'm really excited about this one. This is a thick book, so I probably will save this for a little bit later in the year. I think reading this in the fall would be really fun, like a vampire fantasy vibe during the fall weather, I imagine would be really lovely. So I think I will probably save that for then. But yeah, I'm excited to have this one in my collection for sure. Like I mentioned, reading is something that I really love to do and talk about, so I think it would be kind of fun to introduce like a monthly TBR at the end of each month for these vlogs. I'm not a speed reader by any means, but I do like to read and I like to be consistent, so I think having a goal of each month of like what books I will read would be good for me. So I think we could start doing that. Like I said, I might read like 2 books a month, 3 if they're short, but just having a goal and having an intention I think will be really nice. So I look forward to sharing what I plan to read for August at the end of July here. But that is my book speaking segment of this vlog. So thank you so much for listening to me yap if you made it through this entire yap session. We'll see what happens when I edit it down, but I've been talking for like 30 minutes. I look forward to finishing this book soon. Hopefully I can finish it this weekend. That might be a steep ask for me, but we will see what I end up accomplishing. I don't know what I'm gonna read after this one, so you and I will both be surprised. It might be one of the books I got in Aardvark. It might be something on my shelf. No one knows, not even me, so we will see what happens when we get there. But thank you so much for tuning in for this part. I will see you in the next clip. I'll talk to you hopefully sooner than later because I don't want to wait several days like I did last time. So I will talk to you soon. I'm gonna tell you that now. Okay, bye everybody. Good evening. I bet you didn't think you'd see me so soon, but here I am. So this was kind of an unexpected but fun adventure that we have this evening. So long story short, I'm a huge Shaky Graves fan. If you know me, you know that. I had gotten tickets for one of his shows this summer that was in Raleigh months ago, like months and months ago. Basically when he first announced this next tour, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get my tickets now and whatever. And got them months ago, knew it was in July, out of sight, out of mind. I couldn't save the tickets to my wallet at the time, so I didn't. And you know, fast forward, now we're here. I hadn't thought about this concert basically since I bought the tickets. And earlier today, I had the thought cross my mind, like, hey, I got these tickets for Shaky Graves. I know it's in July, but like, when is it in July? And newsflash, it's tonight. So now we're going to a concert that we didn't really plan for, or like, I mean, we planned for it because we bought the tickets, or I bought the tickets, but we didn't have it on the schedule for this week because I'd completely forgotten about it. Like, this is how type B I am, especially as a Virgo. I know it's like hard to believe, but I'm so type B. And now we're gonna go to that concert. We're gonna be leaving here shortly. I made a cup of tea because I'm gonna be up way past my bedtime, so that's why we're having an evening Earl Grey. I think this is my third or fourth time seeing Shaky in concert, so it's old hat for me at this point. It just comes with the territory, but nonetheless, I'm excited to go. Yeah, let's go before we're late, I guess, for this concert that I totally forgot about. Yeah, okay, bye. Hey vlog, happy Sunday. I am just here pulling some tarot cards and giving my tarot mat a good test run, and it does work, so that's great. I haven't checked in since right before the show on Friday night. It was great. I mean, shaky never disappoints, so I don't know what I expected, and we came home with a lot of goodies too, so I have more merch, which is always great, but it was a really great show, good turnout, and I was up so late. I was up till midnight, which is like unheard of for me. Yesterday we had a really busy day too, so I'm just checking in now before I end the vlog. If you made it this far, again, thank you so much for being here. It is like such a treasure to be able to like make this content for you. I just put out my second vlog yesterday. You know, I'm just enjoying the process as it comes, and I did a little reading this morning to kind of inquire about this whole new journey for me, and it looks pretty good. I just wanted to leave you off with a fun little clip at the end here. Yesterday morning we went to a dog birthday party with a bunch of released service dogs. So these dogs were in training to be service dogs and were released for XYZ reasons, and so we took Zippy there to have a play date birthday party with them because it was one of their birthdays, one of the dogs' birthdays, let me clarify. And I got some really cute footage while I was there. So I want to just like leave that for the end, but otherwise I'm gonna start the next vlog right after this, after I finish my third cup of tea today, because I'm still recovering from busy Friday, busy Saturday. But yeah, again, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next one. And until then, I hope you take care wherever you are. And I will see you soon. Okay, bye.